You know, the more I've been coding, the more I've realized that the development space is just a bunch of people taking inspiration, flat out copying from each other. Like GitHub is basically just accepted way of seeing other people's code and copying other people's code, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think that's just how I see it. But anyways, with that, I believe that inspiration plays a huge role in development as a whole. They allow you to see what's possible or not possible in the development space, and most importantly, it inspires you to try harder because you're seeing what someone is doing, and especially if you like what they're doing, you want to be just like them. And over the past like year and a half or year of making content, I've gone across a lot of different types of applications, and so what I'd like to do is just share 7 that I just totally love and have inspired me to build out my own applications, to build out a specific type of design, or just be a better developer as a whole. But anyways, okay, the first main application that I've used for inspiration is something called Zenvoice. This is made by a developer called Mark Liu. Many people actually know him from Shipfast, which is a SaaS starter kit. However, I love this application, and in specific, the design that comes with it. And so the main point of this application is to dispute Stripe payments. So in Stripe, a lot of people tend to get banned because of the number of disputes. The management of Stripe invoices as a whole is just super annoying. And the goal of this application is just to streamline everything, make things super easily by just connecting your Stripe, and everything is set up for you. And you know, surprisingly for this application, what I really liked about it was not the actual functionality, but rather the design that comes with it. And actually, I'll be honest, I took a lot of inspiration from it when making out this application. This is just my workout application that's coming out very soon. And you can see over here, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. I just really liked the design. I liked the cards. I liked this, especially this part. I really liked it. It was such a smart idea. Obviously, I'm changing it up and I'm not totally copying, but you know, I took a good deal of design inspiration from it, and I just really appreciate this application. And the main thing this has inspired me to do is just to be as simple as possible. It's a one-page landing page with a specific spot where you can buy something. For example, there's no added BS. I just love that, and that's, I guess, what I'm trying to do in my own development sense. Now, the next application I've used for inspiration is the ShadCen. You probably know ShadCen from their UI library. I don't use their UI library anymore, just out of personal preference, but this is an application that they developed that is kind of like a template, but I just freaking love. So basically, it's just a template, you could call it. So let's sign in with our GitHub real quick. Imagine this does not work. Oh god. But anyways, it's just code that you can just copy and paste onto your own app, where they have different looks. So for example, you want like a pricing card, you can just copy this. You have a blog section that just looks beautiful. If you go back, you have documentation that is written. Really, really cool things. And what I really liked about this was the actual documentation. You've probably seen the video, or I released a video, maybe, I'm not really too sure, where I just made my own documentation for my starter kit, and I used a lot of inspiration here for how to format everything, how to lay out everything for my applications, the different chapters that I needed, the different explanations, if I needed pictures, how many chapters I needed. There's a whole bunch of shit in a documentation that I didn't know about that this taught me to, because it gave me kind of like a style guide of what I needed to do. So very good inspiration, very nice, very nice. And now the third inspiration application, what do I even say? Inspiring application, I don't even know, that I've used, or at least looked at with like, you know, wow, I need to do something like this, is the MagicUI landing page template. So this is not actually available to the public. Like, you can obviously go to the site and you can access it, but the code to this you actually have to buy, because it's a starter kit that, you know, I respect it. But the beautiful thing about this, and maybe I talked about this, is the actual UI. You know, no shit, it's the UI library. They have to make it look good. But I just love how everything is set up. This is probably the most beautiful website I've ever seen. Things such as this. Look at this, okay? I don't care about everything here, but look at how the numbers drop when you do this. Look how nice that is. I really like this. And looking at this, I actually checked this out a couple of weeks ago. I really considered buying this. I still may, because it's just so beautiful. You know, I don't know. But what I really liked about this, and why I use this for inspiration, is just not the simplicity, but the what's the word? I am so bad at this. Exaggeration of the UI. Sometimes you want to build out something so crazy and outlandish that you want to impress people. And I think something like this, where maybe you're making something for developers or you're making your own UI library, this is just so cool. And I just love it because they're taking everything to the extreme, like the background, the little display over here with the image. There's going to be like this beam thing that's going to come up real quick. You can see that. And now the fourth thing I've used for inspiration what do you even call this, application that I've used for inspiration is React Email. Now if you don't know, React Email is made by the same developers that created Resend, and if you don't know, Resend is just a email service for developers where, like, let's say on my authentication I need to send the user like a verification email. I'll use it using Resend, and they have a application called React Email that you can use to put into your own application and then write out good looking emails. And what I really like about this, right, is I'll just go to explore components. They have a really good piece of documentation, but what I even love on top of that is how everything is structured. So not only do they have like the different components describing how to write out a good email, but they also have good examples of good emails. For example, over here you can see they give you a bunch of different templates with the actual code that you can just copy and paste into your own application. And look, I'm never gonna write UI like this, nor do I. It's not really my style, but I really fell in love with how beautiful everything is laid out, how the documentation is organized and how nice it is, and the amount of effort that they put in for the examples. You know, as I said earlier, right, taking inspiration is not just copying, but it's also being inspired to try harder yourself. And just reading this made me think, man, I need to try harder with my own applications. And although maybe a bunch of developers made this, I just love the fact that something like this is possible, something this beautiful, something with this many examples, something so helpful for developers, and I just love it. Now, the fourth inspiring application that I just love is Versel. But I'm more specific, I like this specific page. Now you may be saying, why the hell are you talking about a specific page on Versel? Versel is a very simple and minimal app. It's just a black background with white text and an inter font. It's nothing crazy. And what I really love about it is the organization, how do you even say that? Organization of everything. Here you have the filtered templates where you can just like click on like e-commerce and you're just given a bunch of different things. And I don't know, I really want to do something like this in my application, and I found this a couple of days ago and I was just super impressed with it, and I just wanted to talk about it. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I just really like this. It's a really cool part, and it's a really cool thing that they've made. And I wonder actually how they did this, like where like if you click on Svelte, you know, there's probably something, but you know, it's just super cool. I really like this. Everything is very formatted, clear for the user, and I'm trying to be like that. Now everyone knows that AI is going to take over and it's going to steal all developer jobs, right? They're going to steal my job, they're going to steal your job. We are done forever. And I'm kidding, okay? And one of my favorite applications that I've used for AI generated things is V0. Now I just realized that Versel is in many of these examples. I think they're on Resend, V0, ShadCen UI, and Versel itself. That's 4 out of the 6. That's crazy. But what this is let's say you want to create a site. Let's just call this hero section for my boy Nazar. And it generates a website for you in real time based off your inputs. Now, they have a speed option and a quick option, but you can see, check this out, unleash your creativity with Nazar. And the first time I used this, I was actually like freaking out because I really feared that this was going to be the end of developers. It's just a website generator. Actually, what I really liked about this was just the live user showing. Like, I know that's very specific, but if you go to like new generations, it like automatically displays the most recent generation. So this is the one I made, and it's displayed in the main section. And I was trying to look into how this was actually made, and I don't really know how, and I really want to know how they did this automatically. Like, I know that you updated something, you put it there, but I just really like how everything is laid out. You have a simple product again, and I just realized that almost everything here is just simple, and that's what you want. I just really like this application. It's very well put together, and yeah, I just really like it. And now the final application I actually found a couple of days ago, and I fell in love with this. It's called, I guess, president.dev, but basically it's a template that looks amazing. I love everything about this. And so if you click on like deploy to Versel over here, you're directly taken to Versel, where you can just deploy this application on your own computer. And what I really took from this, I don't even know how I can connect to Versel and do this, but I kind of realized that the less steps there are for the user-to-user product, probably the more likely they're going to use it. You know what I mean? Like over here, right? All the user really has to do to use this coding block, deploy to Versel over here, just had to click one button, actually 2 buttons. You just have to create it, and you're automatically deployed, and the application is for you to use. What this inspired me to do, at least for my newer applications right now, is to simplify things as much as possible and to make things as easy as you can for the user to use. The least amount of steps you need for the user-to-user application. And I think if you can do that, and at least what I'm trying to do, if I can do that, then there will be more users that will buy your shit and use your shit. That's plain and simple. These are just 7 of the most inspiring, you could say, applications that I've used. Are they good? Maybe. Have they helped me? For sure. All of them? Maybe not, but a lot of them have also, like MagicUI especially. Zenvoice, super underrated application. I just love it. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Please, it would really go a long way. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.